If you've been following our epic road trip driving this 1968 Tatra all the way from Prague to Pebble Beach, I've got an update for you. There's bad news, there's great news, and then there's terrible news. So let's start with the bad news. The fine folks at Pebble Beach have given us zero, and I mean zero help. I started this way back in January and I contacted them and I said, hey, you guys are having a Tatra class and I'm going to drive a Tatra from Prague to your event. Never heard back from them. I thought, well, maybe it's too early. So I called them and I said, hey, can we get some press passes? Never heard back from them. Finally got on the phone with them. They said, great, love it, come on out. Never heard back from them again. And here we are. It is now basically 4 days before the Pebble Beach Concours the Wouldn, and we have had zero help from these guys. So we're kind of stuck because we're all the way in Boulder, and yet we're going to an event that basically doesn't want us there. But you know what? That's not what TFL is about. We started this thing and we're going to end it. And so starting tomorrow, we're going to take this Tatra and we're going to finish what we started. And we are going to end up in Pebble Beach by hook or by crook. But now for the great news. While the cabal at Pebble won't have us, there's a lot of other events that happen in the week surrounding it. And one of them is called Legends of the Autobahn. This is a show put on by the BMW, Mercedes, and Audi Club of America. And it takes all the great Autobahn cruising cars and puts them in one location. And guess what? Those guys have been terrific to us. They sent us not only press passes, but VIP passes, and the Tatra is going to be a star attraction at their show. And yes, indeed, if you remember, this Tatra has tasted top speed at the Autobahn. Do you remember this video?
130. Here we go. 140. At some point, these front wheels might get a little light. 150. We're getting close to 150 here. That's almost 100 miles an hour. Getting very loud. And that's right there. That's 160 kilometers in a 45-year-old car. Downhill. Maybe with the wind.
This happens all the time. We're at a trailhead, there's nothing here but coyotes, and a FedEx truck comes up. Every time we shoot, an airplane flies by, a truck comes by. Maybe they'll come collect garbage next. This is crazy. As I was saying, not only is this Tatra going to be featured at the Legends of the Autobahn, but it's quite a daunting task because we were supposed to leave Wednesday for a Saturday event, which meant that we basically had 3 days to travel 1,300 miles in a very old car with no spare parts to get to Pebble Beach. But now, because the Legends of the Autobahn is on Friday, we instead have 2 days to take this Tatra from Boulder, Colorado all the way to Pebble Beach, and that is a daunting task. We could have left earlier, but Nathan has kids, I've got business commitments, and so now we have a great opportunity, but at the same time, imagine driving a Tatra from 1968 with no spare parts, 1,300 miles in 2 days. And that is what myself, Nathan, and Andre are about to do. So this is going to be quite the daunting task. And now for the terrible news. I've really been wrestling with this issue for the last week. You know, unlike those Tatras that are going to be at Pebble Beach that are being featured there, that have never even seen a truck stop parking lot, this Tatra has done everything I've asked of it, all the way from Liberec to Prague to Bremerhaven to Baltimore to Chicago and now to Boulder. Imagine that. In Omaha, if you recall, it was 98 degrees, air-cooled V8, and yet this old girl just trucked through it. Check out this video.
So we made it to Nebraska, and the thermostat says about 36 degrees, which is about 97 Fahrenheit. That is not good for the old girl. We're hoping this air-cooled engine doesn't overheat. We have no way of knowing if it overheats or not, but it's getting damn hot out here. And it's hot in here. I'm worried about what's happening with our air-cooled 2.5 liter V8 in the back. Not much we can do. It's 6 o'clock at night. Figure it's not going to be any cooler tomorrow, so we're just going to keep pressing on. Hopefully she's stronger than we give her credit for.
I actually thought during the video that the engine was going to become a big molten pile of iron. It was that hot, and yet this old girl, she just kept on going. So the terrible news is that I've decided after a long time that I'm going to have to sell this girl. And the reason for that is as you recall, when we first came up with this concept, we tried to raise $50,000. That was our budget on Kickstarter. We raised $5,000, but with Kickstarter, if you don't raise your budget, you get that. So we switched to a different website. We ended up raising $1,000, which was great, but of course nowhere near what we needed. And thank you for everybody who contributed, and of course thank you to all the friends, family that have made this possible. So we decided to do this on a shoestring budget. We thought to ourselves, we can go get a Tatra for $15,000. We'll still have $10,000 to get the Tatra to Pebble Beach. Well, when I got to Prague, there's no way you could get a Tatra for $15,000 that's going to go from Prague to Liberec, which is where I bought the car, you know, 120 kilometers, let alone all the way to Pebble Beach. The problem is that Tatras are in the Czech Republic like muscle cars are here. They've gone up in price, and the reason for that is because these cars were very popular when the people who now are older were young. And so everybody who's got money in the Czech Republic remembers these cars from their youth and they want them now. It's just like having a Challenger. Yeah, I know this is no Hellcat, but to the Czechs, this has a very similar cachet. So we bought the car and ended up spending about $24,000 on it, which was about $10,000 over budget. Then we said, we'll do it on a shoestring. So it was just me and my son who flew to Prague and basically drove it to Bremerhaven. All that, getting the car here, that was another $10,000. So now this car owes us $24,000 to buy it, $10,000 to get it here, $34,000. And it's going to cost another $5,000. And that is if we're being very, very economical. If me, Nathan, and Andre sleep in the car, or actually you can sleep in the Tatra, or in the Raptor, which is our chase vehicle, and we do this as inexpensively as possible, we can get away with this whole project for about $34,000, plus the $5,000 to get there. So $39,000 in total. The company can't afford, especially in a time when journalism, automotive journalism, is basically dying because the internet has made everything free. It just can't afford to suck that much money out of TFL, and in the end, it's going to have to be sold. So the good news is, if you're looking for a slightly used Tatra, it is now available, at least it will be when we get back from Pebble Beach, for sale. And if you're interested, just email me at info@tflcar.com and we can talk. Better news is that here comes the FedEx truck again. Of course. The better news, or the best news, is that I get to have one last adventure with the Tatra. Starting tomorrow, we're going to drive 1,300 miles all the way to Pebble Beach. We're going to show her off at the Legends of the Autobahn, and we're going to go and give the folks at Pebble Beach, well, you know, kind of a salute for all of the support that they have given us to get this old girl the crazy amount of kilometers and miles from Liberec to Prague, all the way there. Now there's one last potential issue over the next 1,300 miles, and that has to do with this. Czech license plates. This car is registered in my name in the Czech Republic, and I can't even believe how long that took to accomplish. But anyway, it is legally titled in my name, and the plates are good through this month. Now, we haven't had a chance to get American plates because that's a very intricate process in itself. I have to get everything translated, legalized, super legalized. Anyway, we're gonna drive it to Pebble on Czech plates. We have it insured in America. We have it titled in the Czech Republic. And according to the authorities in Baltimore, when we picked it up, we should be able to drive this car in America legally. Now, will the police officers in Wyoming know that tomorrow? I don't know, but it is a potential issue, and hopefully it won't be an issue as we do this last leg of the trip, because I would hate to have something like that stop us. All right, one last time. Time to saddle up, start the old girl up, and point her west, because Pebble Beach is in 3 days, and we have a total of 2 days to get there. Listen to this. I will bet you she'll start on the first try. I will bet you she will start on the second try. California, here we come.